Hello, fellow space explorers, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. We are continuing to work our way through the history of Spaceflight Contract Pack. But before we can continue on with that particular thing, we need a little bit more science because one of our contracts requires solar panels, and we don't quite have that yet. We've been working on this science plane that we've been trying to get stable and working and not be too much of a pain. We've had several design iterations. I'm hoping that this one is going to work out okay. Everything looks like it's more or less in line, except our jets aren't exactly pushing the way we want them to push, but I think I'd rather have it pushed slightly from the bottom than from the top, so that way it'll minimize the chances of... We've been having an issue. The issue we had with the last iteration is that it kept wanting to nose down. And while that's definitely preferable to nosing up, I didn't like the amount of nosing down it was doing. So we had to come back here and kind of redo an iteration of this to get everything working properly, hopefully. But we left it off to on the last episode with a little bit of a cliffhanger to find out, is this design going to work? So let's do one more double check to make sure. I definitely want this only controlling yaw. And I think we'll do 10 degrees on both of these just to make sure it doesn't have overcorrection, too much overcorrection. We do want a lot of pitch control for this guy, but let's make sure he's not doing any of that. We definitely want to make sure that we set our brakes to 100% by default, because 50% takes forever to stop. And then, yeah, there's no steering sensitivity or anything like that. All right, so I think we're ready to go. We have our science stuff on there. We have our science Kerbal in there. So let's launch and see how this goes. I know this plane looks relatively ridiculous, but there's only so much space, and the longer you make these, the harder they are to land in some of these more difficult to land areas. Before we do that, let's slow down. Hopefully we don't crash, because I want to get down. Well, let's do the material study here on the runway. Let's get him out, collecting and restoring. Okay, so now we can get rid of the brakes. Hop down into here. Do our material study. Collect it, EDA, collect the data, restore, and then I'm just going to go ahead and recollect it now so that we don't have to do this again. Is there a reason we're not stopping? Oh. That was stupid. All right, we're going to recover the vessel oh, we could have did a crew report. That's annoying. We're going to recover the vessel because I just want to grab the little bit of science that we got for that. Now we'll go back, we'll load it again, and then we'll take off, and we'll head out to the foothills out there and hopefully be able to land without crashing this time. Okay. So it depends on how the flight characteristics of this thing are. The issue that we had is that it wanted to nose down really hard. So hopefully we fixed that with this alternate configuration. Ideally everything is nice and streamlined now, so we shouldn't have any more control issues. You know what? I don't think that this guy's going to work. Because even with max deflection, this just doesn't have the control authority that the tail wings have. That's just not going to work. So we're going to, as much as it's going to be ridiculous to do it, and as much as it doesn't look as realistic, we are going to have to put tail fins on here. And then we'll adjust them so that they're as far like that as we can get them. So as much as that looks ridiculous, I need vertical control. I need a lot of pitch control. So we'll reduce this to 20 just to kind of see how it goes. And I'm actually going to put it well, hold on. I got to look at my lift vector here. I think we need to leave it there because if I push it back, that's going to make it go too far back. I mean, ideally, I want the lift vector like right in the middle of the center of gravity there, because... Okay. As much as I don't want to, I'm gonna put this forward. It's bugging me. It's bugging me to block the hatch there because it's not realistic. Which I shouldn't care about. I really shouldn't care about, but I do. I care that things make sense. Let's try a different winglet on the front. I mean, that works. Sort of. But the problem is that the bigger things I put on the front, that's what gave me the instability, I think, in the front. Whatever, let's try this. If it takes off, then cool. If it doesn't, then we'll try to figure out something else. We can waste a bunch of time fretting over it, or we can test it. Ideally, a fixed wing up in the front should not cause any issues. I think the problem that we had is that we had control surfaces in the front, and those were causing issues. Oh yeah, that takes off. And I have good... Okay, now we have some good pitch. Now we have some good pitch control. This is why I always end up using... these tail fins for also horizontal stabilators. Okay, so now we should be able to get ourselves out to the foothills over here with no further issues. Land, do our science. So now that we have control, should be able to time warp out here and get this done. It's very difficult to control at high rates of time compression, but okay, let's start slowing down now. Just trying to bleed off some speed here so that we can hopefully approach the ground at a reasonable clip. Okay, now the chase camera is working as intended. Oh, is it because I had a... Oh, okay. So you can do a locked camera, and that will... That's interesting. I didn't know that that was an option. Okay, so I'm going to try to land over... try to land over here. I want to make sure that we're well into the foothills when we land. Try to get closer to the ground, and then we'll flare for a little while to bleed off some speed. Okay, we'll get over this hill, and then hopefully we can put it down. Very difficult to land on these uneven surfaces like this. You gotta make sure you're very careful with how fast you hit it. Okay, let's get some brakes. Oh, we had it! We were there! Oh, we were right there. Oh, man, come on. All right, I'm not going to make you watch that again. I'll cut until we're on the ground, and then we can get the science, because I don't know how many tries it's going to take me to get that. So I'll be back once we are on the ground and ready to do some science. Okay, I'm sure you guys actually want to see the landing, so I'll bring you back in now. Okay, we're trying this again. This might end up being a montage of try, crash, try, crash, try, crash. But if we can get into a relatively... we gotta bleed off airspeed, that's the problem. The only way we're gonna land is if we're going relatively slow when we get to the ground. Okay. And I think, like, we don't want to be going too slow, because then we're gonna fall before we hit. But ideally, we want to be... we just kind of want to follow the ground until we can... let's try to turn off this way. I feel like I have a little bit more room with less bumpies. Maybe, I don't know. This whole area just looks really not optimal. Get our brakes ready. I'm not sure how to deal with that, because the issue that we're having is that as soon as my landing gear touches, it explodes. It has no durability at all. I don't know what to do. I forgot that quick saving and quick loading was a thing in this game. That would have been nice to remember. I have determined that I can try to land. I can continue flying at like 50 meters per second. So we're gonna try to bleed our airspeed down to a real slow. And see if maybe I can actually get something going here. Just need to keep putting control inputs in to hopefully bleed our airspeed down to the point where we can do that. So I want to try to get down to a real landing where you're touching down just as you're stalling out. Because you want to be going super slow. Come on, come on, come on. You can do it. Okay, there we go. There we go. Brakes. But I guess not, because we're not getting any science here. So I guess we need to be all the way over there. We'll put it up to the... we'll just put it up a little bit. I don't want to go too fast, because if we change angles too quickly, we're going to crash. Am I able to quick save here on the ground? Oh, okay, here we go. I think we made it to the foothills. Deploy all. Okay. So we're not even gonna reset anything. Let's get him back in the aircraft. We'll recover the vessel. See what we got out of that. What are we up to now? I think we need 90. I think 90 is our target. Well, we're not getting nearly enough science out of all of this. Because for us to get our solar panels, we need 90 science. So I don't think we're going to waste any more time with the planes. Let's go ahead and design a rocket, because maybe we can get some science experiments up into space that will get us what we need. And as much as I'd like to maximize our ability to get things done, it's taking too long to do it this way. So we have plenty of... we need to get up to 400 kilometers, I think. One of them was 400 kilometers. But we need a solar panel for that one. So let's just do this one here. We'll try to get it... I'll set it for 250 kilometers, and then we'll try to get our apoapsis... or I'm sorry, our periapsis into orbit. I'm not sure how to figure out eccentricity, but hopefully the fact that we have this... I'm hoping that these things here give us the eccentricity that we need. We'll set our inclination. Okay, and we just need to be low in space to do any experiment. So Ideally, we have everything we need. Let's try it. Now I have a test that I need to do here because I can reach it now. I downloaded a software that will do true borderless windowed mode without maximizing your screen. So now I have a monitor within a monitor, basically, and I can actually look at my maneuver. Okay, so now we can see what we're doing here. That's awesome. Let's get our KOS script going. We switch to our root directory. We need to run launch, and we need to get up to, I think what was it? It was 250 kilometers. We need to go 30, we'll do 34 just to make sure we're nice and fat in the middle, and then we'll start our turn at 1, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, here we go. Straight up we go. Oh, it does not. There's something about this that it just does not like to do that. I wonder why I don't have the ability to auto strut. Okay, maybe 2. Maybe we can go at ×2. Even that's causing a wobble. Okay, so now we can see our information here. That's much better. Oh, I feel so much better. So we can watch all of our information here. We do have our transmit option there, so that's good. So we can watch our apoapsis go up. It'll hit the 250 mark that we're looking for at some point. Oh, you know what? We might not have enough fuel. I remember we redid this to make sure to try to put enough fuel in there, and it just didn't have enough. But we were also going up to 400. We were also going up to like 400 kilometers, so maybe we'll have enough for this. Okay, so it should stop here in a second. Okay, so now we need to get ourselves in a retrograde orbit. Let's go ahead and try. So we want our periapsis to be at 70-ish. Still don't have enough fuel. So I don't know that we're clearly not gonna, well, yeah, but we have to get it in an orbit. We have to get it in an orbit. Okay, so we're gonna have to redesign our rocket because it needs a lot more. That doesn't make any sense, though. Okay. So I think what we'll do then is we'll try to put a big thumper rocket on here. And then for this stage, we're just going to have to add another fuel tank on here because what we have is clearly not enough. I mean, realistically, that should be plenty, right? 47. Oh, like what's our? Let me pull up my. Let me pull up my. I have a map here, a Delta V map. Let's see. So is this something I can switch to? That would be cool if I could actually show you guys the map. I don't, all right. Well, anyways, okay. So 3,400 is the minimum for getting into a low orbit. And then if we want geostationary, we need another 1,115. So we need 45-ish to get into a geostationary orbit. And this has that. So now the only question is, do we have enough to get back down? So Control surface portion is 95%. Alright, well, let's put this on here. We'll give ourselves 4 of those. So the only issue I have is 3877. 46. I don't think adding another fuel tank is going to help me very much. You start getting into the part where it's just not making that much of a difference anymore. And it's super frustrating that I can't... Maybe because I haven't unlocked struts yet. I don't know what's preventing me from being able to use the struts, the auto strutting function, but... Alright, well, let's try this and we'll see how it goes. Boom, 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 and boom. Save that. I should probably... I wasn't thinking about the fact that this is probably going to have an insane amount of thrust. Does this tell me what the thrust to weight ratio is? Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? We're supposed to be programming this. I'm sitting here trying to just do a launch. No, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this the precise way. Run, launch. It was 250, 34, I think, and 1. Let's double check before we launch it because we don't want to waste a bunch of time. Yeah, 34 should work. Run the launch program. And we'll see how this goes. Alright, up we go. Jeez. It's like a friggin' noodle, man. Yeah, it had such a hard time turning because I don't have the gimbal ability. All right, let's go back to the space. Let's go back to the VAB one more time. Let me look at the thrust to weight ratio on this because yeah, it has an insane thrust to weight ratio. So let's just turn the thrust down. We only need like 1.3 is a good thrust to weight ratio for these. So let's leave it at that. Maybe if we're not going ridiculously fast, it'll be able to pitch over a little bit better. So let's try that. Because it's very long and it's very and all the control has to be done by these fins. So it's the only thing I can think of as to why that might be causing a problem. 250, 34, and 1. All right, let's see if it'll pitch over now. Okay, gonna work now? Yeah, it still doesn't want to pitch over. It's still wanting to just sit there. I feel like it should be pitching over a lot more by now. Okay, we're gonna try a different tactic here. We're gonna try to go for just a low orbit and then push our apoapsis out to 250 and see how that goes. Maybe because I'm trying to go too high right at the beginning, that's what's messing me up. Forgive me, it's been a very long time since I've had to think about all of this stuff. So we're gonna do 80, 34, and 1. And then maybe we can, because I think we're trying to climb, we're trying to set our initial height way too high, and I think that's probably what's making this happen. So let's get this up till it starts doing ridiculous things. Maybe that's why it's not pitching over either, because I'm not... I I have the apoapsis set way too high to begin with, and the most efficient way is to be at a periapsis to push your apoapsis out, and that's probably what's causing this to be ridiculous. So, but then again, it could just be that, yeah, a lot of it is just the fact that I'm not able to get control. I'm not able to get control over. So the problem we're going to have here is that we may have enough fuel to get our apoapsis up. I'm not sure. It just kind of depends. Yeah, we don't even have enough fuel to circularize. So, okay. I need to be able to control. I have to be able to control our pitch. So that's going to be one of those things where we're going to have to use the liquid rocket. Because I need the gimbal. I need the ability to gimbal. It's just, that's not an option. And I don't think any of these have a gimbal ability. Like some of the later solid rocket boosters that you can get do, but I'm pretty sure that none of these do. So we're just gonna use our trusty thing there. We'll just put some stabilizer fins on the bottom just to keep it from going crazy. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. This should be plenty of delta V to make this work. So let's try this one more time. Hopefully we can get this mission done. Because I would really like to do our first orbit. That would be sweet. Okay. So, using what we thought, switch to 0. Run and launch. We are going to go for 80 kilometers at 34 degrees and 1,000 foot turn. And we'll see how that goes. Ugh, I hate that it's so noodly. Like even at 2 times speed, it wants to wiggle. Okay, well, at least it's starting to turn now. I'm having to like feather the time warping on this so that it stops doing that. Okay. Once we get rid of the bottom stage, we'll be able to turn the time warp up. Oh, how about we look at what our apoapsis is, huh? Okay, so ideally... realistically, you don't want to stop at 30 degrees like I do here, but I found when I was testing out my software for this the first time, way back in the day, that if I went too low, I stayed in the atmosphere for too long and wasted a bunch of fuel, so I kept it locked at 30. How do we not have enough fuel? We have way, way more delta V. Oh, because we were still in the atmosphere. I'm stupid. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Run X-Man. Okay, this should circularize. Okay. I forgot that the calculations that you're given change depending on your conditions. Duh. All right, so one of our things needs to be in low orbit, so let's observe the mystery goo. Take that. Oh, we were supposed to transmit that. So observe, and then we have to transmit. We have to transmit the data. Okay. So we are now in a circularized orbit. We want to get our apoapsis out to 250. Do we have enough to do that? Oh, yeah. Okay. So we'll give ourselves a little bit of room. Where are we now? That's where we are. Okay, so that's going to use 114. We have 5. Oh, yeah, we should have enough to deorbit. Okay, cool. So let's get back to here. Get our console back up. We should be able to run X-Man again. This just runs the next maneuver node. That's all it does. Okay. So speed up. What? I'm confused. Didn't we have... Oh, our periapsis wasn't high enough. That is a problem. Are we going to glide through it, or are we going to deorbit now? I don't know if we're going to deorbit or what. All right, so we're gaining some altitude here. So we did a little bit of aero braking, but hopefully it doesn't look like it was enough to. Okay, that was something. So what we need to do is we need to delete this maneuver node, and we need to add a maneuver node over to this side because we need to fix that. That's a problem because we're not actually in an. We need to fix this. So let's. Can I not add a maneuver node here, please? Why am I not able to add a maneuver node? Can you please? Okay, let me get rid of this. What's causing this to not let me do that? I don't know. I don't need an alarm. Can we please get rid of this stuff? What I want it to go away. Where's the button for the alarm? Thank you. Why am I not able to create a maneuver node here? I should be able to just click on it. Is there a reason? I don't understand what's preventing me from creating a maneuver node. Maybe power? Are we out of power? Well, that might be the problem. I don't have any power to tell it what to do. Well, none of that went the way I thought it was going to go, but we're out of time for this episode. Come back next time. Hopefully we can fix it. Be sure to click that like button so the YouTube algorithm knows you enjoyed your time here and sends the video out to more people so we can increase our viewership. We want as many people watching us as possible. Subscribe to the channel so that when the next video comes out, you'll know and it'll show up here in your feed. And I'm looking for cool ideas for exclusive content to create for those of you who are interested in supporting me as a creator. Leave suggestions for that down in the comments along with your feedback for the video. Again, thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you for the next one.